What the human race is suffering from is mass hypnosis. We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
You are listening to Silences Compliance with Anthony Antonello on the FPRN Radio Network.
When the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
And we are live. This is Silences Compliance on the FPRN Radio Network, broadcasting live from my home base here in Pittston, Pennsylvania, right on the border of FEMA Region 2 and 3, as this revolution, evolution, lovolution continues, and we are doing everything we can, as always, to bring you the stories that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And if you're lucky, yeah, you'll hear it in certain places, other independent sites. But for the most part, this is what we do, just knock them right out of the ball game. And we have a lot to talk about today, as usual, as always. And not surprisingly, a lot of it has to do with police brutality and, you know, the encroaching police state that many don't want to admit is a real thing. They don't want to acknowledge that, oh, it's, you know, I agree with everything you say and all. And yeah, it's bad, and I agree that the government has gotten completely out of control, but, you know, I'm not one of those when it comes to, you know, oh, it's a police. I'm not one of those. So what we're starting to see again is this umbrella terming people into basically we're being put. They're trying to pigeonhole us all into one category. You know, if you're a 9/11 truther, or if you're somebody who talks about the NDAA, or if you any of these stories. Well, now, if you are somebody who says, hey, police brutality is becoming a huge problem, you know, people might want to do something about that. Well, now you're lumped into this. You know, I'm not one of those. What does that mean? One of those what? What are you talking about? You know. So I'm seeing this, and it seems to be a big problem, and we're here trying to discuss this and, you know, go from there and try to figure a way out through this. And I'll be explaining more about the progress that we are making here in the independent media. And, you know, as far as what I just said there, Jeff, I know you've been hearing certain people that come out and go out of their way to say, yeah, I agree with everything you say and all, but, you know, I'm not one of those. You know, when it comes to the police, everything's a police state, and I'm not one of those. Like, have you been seeing, like,
one of those?
Yeah. Well, what's that? What is this? What is that all about? Like, are they?
they just don't want to take that last little step.
Yeah.
They don't want to go that last little step. It's like you know, they don't want to you know, admit what reality is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. And just like anything else, it's almost like they're more afraid of the label than anything else. It's like, or they don't want to be okay, that's not so much a label, but they don't want the stigma that goes with it. Like, yeah, I might have questions. Like, okay, prime example, and here I go again with Glenn Beck. And believe me, you know how the mainstream media admits that talking about Israel is a death nail in the, you know, the final nail in the coffin of their mainstream career.
Your career is over.
Well, that's pretty much the same thing with for me with Glenn Beck. That's how it goes, because he has such a following that even anybody from constitutionalist to, you know, whatever type of libertarian you are, he has such a following. I had people that donated, like, you know, decent amounts of money to me, and the second I spoke out against Glenn Beck, that was it. Cut, you know? And they were with me 90, like, on everything else. Everything. They loved the fact that I was out here doing my thing. And the second I spoke out against Glenn Beck, which I was completely on, it was the truth about Bilderberg. And, you know, I have that one meme I put out where, you know, question with boldness, shows them like, question with boldness. And then the one right underneath it is like, but just not 9/11 or the NDAA. You know, it's like, really? And that's what it's come down to. I don't know. What are your feelings on Glenn Beck?
Well, you know, man, I have to give some props where it's due.
Yeah,
you know?
go ahead. That's fine.
If it weren't for, you know, a chance encounter at 2 o'clock in the morning on Fox News, you know, some odd years ago, I probably wouldn't be as awake as I am. I know I'm far from claiming that I know everything and that I'm, you know,
really
everything that's going on. But I mean, as far as how I feel about Beck, he was necessary, I think, in the beginning, but he has overplayed his usefulness, and it's to the point already where he was spoke out against Cliven Bundy and what happened at the Bundy Ranch. Now he is, over this past weekend, I think he rallied up some of his supporters, and they took, you know, shoes and teddy bears and soccer balls and stuff down to the quote unquote the kids that wear extra large underpants.
Right.
And walked, you know, 21 and a half hours continuously to get from, you know, Honduras and Guatemala to the United States. But I think that that Beck has outlived his usefulness.
And
as you usually say,
right.
Limited hangout, I think he has outlived his usefulness.
And you know, here's the thing with him. And even after I just got done saying he's the death nail, and but you know, this is how I roll. Is, you know, I'm not beholden to anybody, and I'm gonna put whatever I feel is the truth out there, and let the chips fall where they may. If you wanna help us out, if you believe in that message, you know, help us out. If because I said something bad about somebody you like, I admit I used to, I thought and you know, just like George W. Bush when I was first awakening, just like anything else, all right, you know, it gets to the point where you cannot make excuses for anybody anymore. And that's how I was with Glenn Beck. I was making excuses for him. I'm saying, you know, like, there must be a reason that, you know, maybe he's infiltrating, like people with Rand Paul now. You know, maybe he has a reason. He's going to infiltrate. He's going to get in there. He's going to be a savior. But, you know, I'm just so past all that. But go ahead, what were you going to say?
Well, I found I would do the same thing. You know, I mean, I would. Oh well, you know, it's because he's a Mormon. And his
But
his
you know why
his
he's
religious
you
beliefs
know
are
why
a little
he
bit different. So
listen. Hang on.
Probably because he's a Mormon.
Hang on though. Wait, you're joking though, right?
Well, no, that's like excuses that I would make.
Oh, okay, all right, and
all
right, and if you actually tried that, I might have to cut you immediately because he admits that he changed religions because his wife is hot, and that's what he needed to do in order to marry his wife. So. Take it for what it's worth. Okay, if he's really in love with the person, is he willing to change his religion? Or is his moral fiber so weak that he's willing to change religions because of the physical features of a woman?
They didn't have a religion. I read a book that was all about the Glenn Beck story. And one of the things that
written by Glenn Beck.
He was a raging alcoholic and a cokehead. And part of her stipulations for her sticking around was that he get clean, he get sober, and then he'd find religion. So then he found the Mormon religion, which I'm a little bit weirded out by the whole Mormon thing.
Yeah, actually,
Did you ever see the South Park? The South Park.
Yeah. I seen a video this week. I don't know how we get into some of these conversations, but I seen a video this week of two. Producer, if you could pull this up, and it should. You probably could find it real quick. Two young white. Probably late teens, early 20s guys that are like Mormon, trying to go out and spread the word. Have a run-in with this like big black guy, and this guy really knew the Bible and totally schooled them. It was really something to watch. See if you could pull that up in a couple seconds, and we'll play that because it was actually pretty awesome. I watched it, and I was really taken aback by it because they came over to him thinking, they were going to run this, thing, and they totally got rocked. Oh man, it was like a political debate where when somebody loses, only it wasn't political, it was like religion, and these guys are out on their bike doing this, and it's real good stuff. Hopefully you could find that real quick. But while I'm trying to do what I'm doing here, what do you got going on over there, Jeff? That's might be me. I'll lower that.
Got some feedback.
Yeah, that's me. I think I got it. All right, we're good. Go ahead.
Sweet. Well, we have Albuquerque, New Mexico Police Department.
Oh, I love the yes, they are the best
of police brutality.
They will kill you so quick.
That's right.
They love death.
They got a raise. They're so good at it that they got a raise.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, lovely.
So
they do such a good job at exacerbating the police state and kicking ass and taking names and taser into the face.
Yeah.
That they
broken arms of freedom.
That's right. They give out so many broken arms of freedom that they've gotten a raise.
So what? The whole police department got a raise?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, this article here appears on the Free Thought Project, and it starts out: after becoming recognized as one of the most violent and brutal police forces in the country, the Albuquerque Police Department will be given a pay raise. This was obviously not decided by the community, but was actually voted on by the Albuquerque Police Officers Association. So the citizens of Albuquerque didn't say, hey, listen, you guys kick our ass so good that we're going to give you a raise. Fuck no. The police were like, hey, Sergeant Menendez, how do you feel about giving us all a raise? And obviously, Sergeant Menendez tasered him in the face.
Yeah. This is how I feel about all that. And you lose. So here, take this taser and make sure you take the prongs of the taser and implant them directly into your face hole. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And not to be outdone by the Albuquerque Police Department, a state police officer in rural Pennsylvania sped through a stop sign this week, colliding with a car and killing a 57-year-old woman. At 3:30 a.m., State Trooper Frederick Shimp failed to stop at a stop sign on Staratina Road in Edinburgh, where his car collided with a vehicle that was driven by 57-year-old Donna Platts. Sadly, Miss Platts was pronounced dead a little over an hour later at a local hospital. The police department is refusing to make a public comment on the case, but they have admitted that the officer who was driving was not responding to a call. So there was no excuse for his violation of traffic laws.
Well, I mean, when you first told me that, I literally thought you were talking about a story that happened here not too long ago, and we covered it on this show, where right in our area, a state trooper was flying somewhere, going, extremely fast, and he ended up smashing into a car, and he hurt one person really bad and killed another person really bad.
He killed him really bad.
Yeah, and this was right in our area, and it just shows you that and I know that people I get called out for the fact that you just can't stand police and do everything you can do everything you can to make them look bad. Well, it's not that I try to make them look bad. They do that themselves. I'm just reporting on the stories.
Yeah, the hard part is making them look good. That's the difficult part.
Oh, how about the fact and producer, did you find anything on that that video? If you find it, let me know, because it's awesome.
With the Mormons.
Yeah, with the two Mormon kids on a bike and in a parking lot. I think it looks like a Burger King parking lot or something, but it's a great video. I really would like to play it if we could find it.
Speaking of videos, we're talking about videos and police brutality, and I see this this article here. If I can actually get my fingers to work and I can open it, would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But I see this article here that Lyle Queen, that's the real name,
okay,
was filming two Trenton police officers beating a woman outside of a laundromat. He never thought that it would land him in jail, much less attacked by a dog and beaten to the point of hospitalization. This was July 8th. Looks like this occurred on July 4th in Trenton, New Jersey. This gentleman was filming the police beating the ever-living shit out of a woman. So the Trenton police decided the best thing to do was sick the dog on him and then beat him up too.
Well, wait, so what did he do?
He was filming two Trenton police officers beating a woman outside of a laundromat. And the police, the article here says that they slammed her on a wall, slammed her onto the ground, and then another officer jumped on top of her and started punching her in the face. Mr. Queen said, describing what happened to the woman, who is an acquaintance of his. So he pulled out his camera phone and started recording them assaulting the girl. That's when he said that one of the officers told him that he was interfering with their police, quote-unquote, investigation. He told him he's not interfering with anything. He's just videotaping y'all beating up this girl, which is his right. He then left for a short time and returned later to retrieve his clothes. As he was carrying clean laundry like a baby, he heard footsteps behind him. That's when Queen says the Trenton police officers began to assault him.
Really?
And in stereotypical fashion, telling him to stop resisting as he...
Oh, yeah, right.
As they escalated the violence.
Right. They'll have knees on your head, punching you, kicking you, doing all kinds of, things to protect and serve you while they're saying, stop resisting. And listen, time out, side note here, time out, actually. I cannot make a post on either one of my pages on, like, I'm trying to post a show. Are you able to post on
Facebook?
Yeah.
Well,
It's saying this message cannot be posted to this wall. Like, really? Am I just constantly like the?
No, I posted, Ben. I posted just fine.
So all right.
So it's got to be just you.
Yeah, it's just me. What else is new? That's lovely.
That's the story of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this attack, the dog, the canine, was still attached to this man's leg as they were handcuffing him, and the dog had such a good hold of him that they had to choke the dog to get him to release.
Who did
the cops? Yeah.
And
the dog was like latched onto this guy's leg.
So wait a minute, hang on. And why was the dog latched onto the guy's leg?
Because he went back to pick up his. Basically, this guy was filming someone that he was roughly acquainted with, getting the shit kicked out of them
by the
police. Police.
Okay.
And then they kind of told him, to get out of there, and he's interfering with the police investigation. He said, "No, I'm not interfering, and it's my right to record you." Shortly after that, he left. Then he returned to get his clothes back from the laundromat.
Okay.
And he heard footsteps behind him. When he turned around, it was the cops. They sicked the dog on him, and they started kicking his ass and telling him to stop resisting.
Wow. And the only reason that raised the question is, and because I'm trying to do so many things here, is I heard you say that they had to restrain the dog, and I'm thinking, since when do they restrain dogs? They shoot them.
Dog.
It was their dog, exactly.
Yeah, it was a police dog. So.
Right. Oh,
so they,
man. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, I don't know. This is really...
Are you still having that issue?
Yeah, I can't post anything on Facebook, and I don't know why. Just not cool whatsoever. But whatever.
Did you see this article here about the looks like Manassas, Virginia, and the police that want to forcefully take photos of a 17-year-old's erect penis?
Oh my God. Go ahead, tell the story. Tell the story.
Well, prosecutors told the defendant that he must plead guilty or that the police would get a search warrant to take pictures. This process would potentially involve taking him to a hospital and giving him an injection of some sort of drug to cause an erection so that they could get photos of his penis. Apparently, the defendant is facing charges of possessing and manufacturing child pornography in a sexting case. Now, mind you, he's a 17-year-old. If convicted, he could be incarcerated until he's 21 and included on the state's sex offender database. The charges stem from a legal complaint filed by his 15-year-old girlfriend's mother. The girl sent photos of herself to the 17-year-old boy, who in return sent her an explicit video of his penis. So they want to have the dick pics for
oh my God,
to make sure that the person who appears in the video is in fact.
So they're and who's is it a court order?
It is the Manassas City Police have threatened to get a search warrant. They said either let us do it or we're going to get a search warrant and force you to do it.
Wow. Oh my God. So I mean, there's really no ends to. And how old is the kid?
17. He's not even. I mean, technically, he's not even an adult himself yet.
So 17-year-old boy,
yeah.
And they want to force him into having an erection.
Yes.
Because a girl, it's a quote unquote sexual assault, I guess.
Well, it's sexting. So basically, she sent him.
Oh, okay.
They sent photos. He sent her some photos, and because of the.
Okay. So who's filing the complaint? Do you know? And this is where I gotta really seriously fuck everything and get. I gotta get my head in the game here because I'm trying to plug the show. I can't do anything on Facebook. I'm trying to get videos, but video. I found the video. I sent it to the producer. Hopefully he could do something with it. But I really I can't even concentrate here. So it's a fucking talk show. So I need to be able to fucking talk,
Yeah.
All right. So they were sexting. All right. Now who's filing the charges? Because usually in something like this, it's the father.
I guess it's the mother of the 15-year-old girl. That's where the original complaint came from.
Okay, a complaint from the mother.
Yeah.
All right. So, 15 years old, 17. Man, I'll tell you what. I would not want to live. Man, as great as technology is for so many things, can you imagine growing up this day and age? Like, we would have been arrested 17,000 times. Well, okay, I'll speak for myself at least. You can say what you want. I would have been arrested 17,000 times over for the things that kids get charged with these days. You know, I mean, I don't know the severity of this. And, I mean, 15 and 17 years old. I mean, what 17-year-old boy isn't dating a 15 or 16-year-old boy?
And
girl,
they're saying that this is possession and manufacturing of child pornography.
And yeah, this is gonna ruin somebody's life. You know, this is like it's no joke. It's real stuff.
And they're 3 years apart. You know, whatever happened.
3,
like
2, right? 15, 16, 17, all right.
You know, so it depends. I mean, whatever happened to your parents find out and they beat your ass? Why now does it have to be that your entire life? Now listen, if this was like 34-year-old guy down the fucking street was doing this with a 15-year-old girl,
right,
that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is they're kids.
Well, I've seen horror stories where there might have been a boyfriend and girlfriend that were together for like, I forget the exact details, but I will make the moral of the story. They were together for like 2 years, something like that. They were totally wanted to be together, and the boy turned 18. The father found out about the relationship, and the father said, this isn't going to happen. And they said, no, it is going to happen. And like a Romeo and Juliet type deal, said, F you guys, we're staying together. Okay. Well, the father went to the police. The police came and arrested him because he was 18. All right. She was 16, but closer to 7. She might have been 17. It was close in age. All right. This was even covered on mainstream. And by the end of this story, you end up feeling so bad for everybody except the state and these, scumbag prosecutors. Well, what happened was the father wanted to, once he realized that, hey, this guy really loves my daughter and they want to be together, he wanted to drop the charges, and he went to drop the charges. Sorry, sir, it's out of your hands. The state's pressing charges. He's like, no, really, I want you to get rid of all of that. And they didn't. So they ended up pursuing it. And not only did this kid get arrested and charged, he got charged as a sexual offender. And this guy goes to he's backing the kid up. He's going to court with the kid, begging you the honor, hey, I'm the one who made the call, and I'm begging you, please don't do this. I made a mistake. I called. I do not want this young man's life ruined because of me. Yes, it was my young daughter. I made an emotional call without thinking about it. And I'm telling you now, after thinking about it, I am wholeheartedly sorry for making that fucking phone call. And I do not want this kid's life ruined. Did that change anything? No. None whatsoever. I think to this day, the couple are still together. They might have had a kid and everything. This kid has a record. He's a sexual offender. Anywhere he moves, he's going to have to register as a sex offender. And this is the state. This is what they do. This is how. This is the protection racket that they run. But we are up against the break right now, and we are just getting started. That segment flew by, so we're just getting to. We might even be going over some of these stories again. I don't know. I'm gonna try to fix my computer. Stay right there. This is Silences Compliance on the FPRN Radio Network. I am your host, Anthony Antonello. I'm gonna jump, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. This is Silences Compliance on the FPRN Radio Network, broadcasting live from my home base here in Pittston, Pennsylvania, right on the border of FEMA Region 2 and 3, syndicated across the internet and across the planet on what is one of, if not the fastest growing internet radio show. Silence is Compliance, 3 days a week now, and possibly sooner, and possibly something even very big in the makings. I really can't get, not that I can't, I really shouldn't get into that, just for the fact that I don't want to put any information out there that that I can't really say one way or another. But I did have a meeting today with some very powerful people that run, important radio, like no, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Corporate owned radio stations, and I wouldn't be able to have been put in this position if it wasn't for you guys listening, so many of you that have helped with so many different things. And this is what we talk about constantly, is us stepping into the mainstream. And I talked about this today. I talked about the fact that the future of what's going on is, people are able to listen to what they that people. I lost my train of thought. That's what happens when you try to read too many things at once. But I do what I can to try to get this information out. People help us, and that's what it is. The future of this, it's pretty simple. People could listen to what they want. They could listen to the phone. They could listen to the show on their mobile device. And I mean, I just helped somebody shop for a smartphone or a smart TV. And if you know anything about this, and if you see where technology is going, it's not going to be very long before, just about everything is going to be integrated. We have smartphones, we have computers, now smart TVs. I mean, how much longer do you think it's going to be before your television does everything? It's almost there now. So imagine your television being able to do everything that your internet is able to do. And then say you have to leave the house, boom, just pull it right up on your smartphone, and you're not going to miss a minute of anything. You don't have to be worried about being tied down to certain radio, certain stations that are being put out there. So it really is going to be all completely open sourced. It's going to be, true free market, hopefully, and we'll go from there. But I do want to we have a caller we're going to get to in 10 seconds. But once again, 40 minutes into the show, and I forgot. Please, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to call and, talk about whatever you want. Get it off your chest. Whatever information is important to you. Even if you just want to get in the conversation, feel free to call. The number is 567-314-9296. That's 567-314-9296. So let's go to Mark on line 1. Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you guys doing?
Good, great. Thanks for calling. What city and state are you in, Mark?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, excellent. So what's on your mind, brother?
I'm calling on behalf of a coalition we're starting here. We have an event this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. It's called the First Annual 2 Million Bikers to the Sea of Pennsylvania Patriots United Rally.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I'm with you. Okay, go ahead. Tell the people about it.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's hard reading messages and everything, live during the show. But yeah, go ahead and tell people what's going on.
What we're doing is first off, I am the state coordinator of 2 Million Bikers to DC of Pennsylvania. I've been with the group for about a year. When I first started with the group, I was kind of lost. I didn't know who to believe, what to think, what to say when it came to the politics here in the United States. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, why are we trying to fight something on a federal level when we need to do it on a state level first?
And just to interrupt you real quick, and what do you want to say the name of the group or no?
Sure. It's 2 Million Bikers to DC of Pennsylvania.
Right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And so I'm thinking, I'm like, I need to get involved. I'm sick of working paycheck from paycheck. My Constitution rights are getting stripped from me. I'm watching the news. I'm flipping back and forth from Fox News to CNN, and I'm just like, I'm lost. I don't know what's going on anymore because there's no information. So I joined this group. They asked me to take it over. I took it over. Members are great. So I was like, it's this time of year, biker season. It's time to start taking action on what we all believe in.
Right.
So at first I'm like, I'm going to do a meet and greet in Harrisburg just to kind of get the feel of the members. And as I'm thinking, I'm like, why does it just be my group? Why does it just have to be 2 Million Bikers to DC? Why can't it be other groups involved? Why does it have to just be one group? We need a coalition. We need to unite. We need to fight for our rights. We need to fight what we believe in. So I contacted a few members for different patriotic groups, and I explained to them, hey, listen, let's do a meet and greet. Let's get this coalition started. It's time to buckle down on the politics and hold them accountable for it. And, I was a little scared at first, like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But I got a great group of speakers joining me this Saturday at 11 a.m. in Harrisburg. I have Chaplain Dean Smith. He is going to be discussing why it's important to have God and country. I have Dan Gray, Liberty's Future, Blog Talk Radio contributor, The Struggle for Unity and the Future of Constitutional America. I have Matt Ridinger from Pennsylvania Revolution. I have State Commander Patches from Pennsylvania U.S. Defenders. I have Kim Stolfer, President of Concerned Gun Owners of Pennsylvania. I have Lisa, I think I'm going to pronounce this right, Nicola, Western Pennsylvania Coordinator for the Tea Party Patriots. And Anastasia Jacoby, 2 Million Bikers, 2DC National Executive Secretary and Media Coordinator. The object of this rally is to get everybody together, to communicate better, to get everybody's events out there, to stop the corruption here in Harrisburg. There's corruption going on nationwide, but we have to start small. We have to start here in the state. We have to hold these politics accountable for what they're doing. For instance, Kathleen Kane. She's broken so many laws over the last year, and she's not being accountable for it. We need to step up to her. We need to confront her about it. We have so many Common Core. Common Core is another problem here in Pennsylvania. They're trying to get Common Core going. Smart meters. Second Amendment, stricter gun laws. These are all problems. Yes, they're on a national level, but they're also on a state level. And we need to come together as one and to address that. We need to come together in numbers.
Yeah.
My theory is everybody has Facebook nowadays or Twitter or Instagram. That's not going to solve the problem. That's not going to solve the problem. It's going to get the message out, but it's not going to solve the problem. We can post 1,000,001 videos out there, 1,000,001 Instagram pictures out there. We need to physically knock on these representative doors and say, this is what we need you to do. You work for us. We voted you into office for you to support us, to help us, and to keep our constitutional rights. And that's what we need to do. We need a coalition, and that's what this is all about. We also have Overpasses for America, who's a very, very strong group. They're involved. They won't make it Saturday because of another event, but they're another group that's very, what's the word I'm looking for? They have our back, I should say.
Right.
So it's definitely something that needs to get done. And, you know, I think with this, it's a start of something extremely good, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it sounds great, and I'm trying to find this video now. It's and when you said physically be there, it reminded me of one of the few things that I could say I was extremely proud of Pennsylvanians. This was, I think, quite some years back where they tried to do something. Now, you know, and obviously they have infringed on the Second Amendment a million ways from Sunday, but there was something that they did try to push. I think it was probably about a decade ago, and I seen the video, and a lot's happened since then, so it's been pushed back, you know, pages, so I can't find it real quick. But what happened was enough people showed up in Harrisburg that they put the fear of God into the people down in Harrisburg. They flooded that building with, people saying you are not going to, do whatever they were trying to do. And it was the first time I seen that many people go to the Capitol building and actually scare them enough that they said, all right, we're falling back. And they were going to push something, more gun control. And the people said, no way. And they showed up, in numbers. I mean, it was like standing room only. People were out the door. And I'm like, hell yeah, And if you could get the people to do something like that, especially what you're talking about on a bigger scale, and just flood the buildings. I mean, that sounds like a great first step. And this and like I said, I have to say this. I wouldn't. This would have never happened if the members of each group, the members of 2 Million Bikers DC, Defenders, PA Revolution, Overpass for America, the Tea Party Patriots, Philadelphia Tea Party. None of this would have happened if they all just jumped on board. I mean, this is a group effort. This isn't just me. This is definitely a group effort, and I'm really excited. And I hear, oh, this is your baby, this is your thing. What do you want to do? And I said, no, this is ours. This is everybody's. This isn't just mine. This is everybody's. And I couldn't have done it without everybody who's taken the time and the effort to promote it and that are attending, and it's just an amazing thing. I mean, 1,900 invites went out in a matter of probably, I want to say, close to about 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, it's just the way that we communicated, between each individual group was just, I was speechless. And, Matt, from PA Revolution, and Rich from PA Revolution, Rich did the flyer for the rally, and I want to thank him for that. And, I want to thank everybody for just being involved, and that's what we need to do. We need to get more people out on the streets, at the Capitol, at your local courthouses, right,
at your police stations, at your township meetings, and that's what it's going to take to get things done.
Yeah, I know. Well, I always support fighting these powerful people any way you can, any creative way, unconventional methods, whatever you can do. Do it. I certainly love getting people on the same page, because numbers mean a lot. When you're able to pull big numbers, you're able to, get a heck of a lot more things done. So, that's a real big thing. So is there anything else you want to tell people where they could go to find this information, or where to go?
If what I'll do is I'll definitely post a link, or Matt, or if there's anybody who has a copy of the link of the event on Facebook, they can definitely post it on the Facebook page of the radio show, or if not, I can post it as soon as I get home. I'm actually driving right now as I'm talking to you. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah, I can definitely. It's definitely going to be this Saturday, rain or shine. It is a open carry rally. So bring all your little toys or your big toys, whatever you prefer. Just remember, safety's first. It is open carry. There may be children there as well. Rain or shine, weather looking beautiful right now. They're saying 86, clear skies. It starts at 11 a.m. Main Capitol stairs. And invite everybody. I mean, these are problems that are going on here in Pennsylvania, and
right.
If Pennsylvania can be a role model for any other state, things can start happening, and that's what we need to do.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And what was the date again? One more time.
It's this Saturday, July 12th.
July 12th. Okay, so today's Wednesday. This Saturday. All right. So we're getting close to it then. So yeah, everybody, I encourage you, get down there, show your support, and check out what's going on. And I guess that's pretty much it, Mark. Anything else in closing, brother?
No, that's it. Like I said, I want to thank all the groups and all the members who are, who helped out with promoting it and who are attending. I know it's tough, with kids and vacations and finances, and I know that people that can't make it will be there in spirit. And this is just the first of many. Next year, we're hoping to have double the numbers, and we're going to do it, the Saturday every year after the 4th of July. So. We're hoping that it'll definitely get some numbers in there. And again, I want to thank everybody. This is definitely a team effort, and we just got to keep on pushing.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. All right, well, Mark, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Feel free to call at any time. And, good luck with everything. Keep us informed. If you could, call next week and let us know how everything went. And we'll go from there, all right?
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
Well, hey, Mark,
you guys have a good night.
You too. Have a good one, brother. Well, there you have it, guys.
Too,
that was Mark from 2 kabillion bikers. That'd be nice, right? No, 2 million bikers. And they're trying to organize and get things going, and support them. Get out there, and 2 million bikers to DC. So good stuff. Wait, what is it to DC, or is that a different one? Because he said Harrisburg.
Well, 2 million bikers to DC is a large national group.
Okay.
They were actually in DC on 9/11/12, which is the last time I was in Washington DC.
Okay, gotcha. Roger. All right. So hang on. I want to play this video, if it's possible, of a video my buddy sent to me the other day, and it really shows you. That was the right for. Are you? Somebody wants to know if are you talking about the truckers ride to the.
No.
That was something different, right?
That's 2 totally different groups.
Did the bikers join the truckers for that? No,
2 totally different things.
Okay.
They were about a week and a half apart. The 2 different groups.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear. And I'm hoping we could play this video here. Well, you know what? It'll probably have to be after break. But this video. And I really hope we could play it, because what it shows you is we talk about the police state all the time, and one is worse than the other, and depending on what angle you're coming at it from, if it's the fact that somebody dies, then yeah, of course that's terrible. If you're coming at it from the way the costumes act, well, then that's a completely different scenario. Well, if you're going to come at it from that angle, this might be one of the worst, and I'm taking the physical aspect out of it, because obviously beating somebody and beating them to death or shooting them, tasing them in the face, all that stuff, it's not good. But if you're going just on behavior, okay, this was so incredible. And like you see this one disgusting human being. When they talk about Napoleon syndrome, like men over compensating and with their guns, right? Man, you want to talk about that? Like, this is a woman, and she's holding this big shotgun. It's almost as big as her, and you see all the shotgun shells lined up on the side, and it's almost like she is dying to shoot this guy. I mean, she's almost foaming at the mouth, and the guy was getting out their names and badge numbers, and he was able to see hers, and she said some smart-ass remark like, "Oh, wow, you could read," or something like that. And she's standing there, like locked, cocked, and ready to rock, And I'm like, oh, my God, it's just incredible. And hopefully after the break, we could play that video. But you're listening to Silences Compliance on the FPRN Radio Network, broadcasting live from Pittston, Pennsylvania, right on the border of FEMA Region 2 and 3, syndicated across the internet and across the planet. I am your host, activist, journalist, reporter, troublemaker, rabble-rouser, get in your face with a camera and ask you the questions that the other people won't kind of guy, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. So stay right there. When we come back, a lot more to talk about, so do not go anywhere. I think I found the problem on Facebook too, by the way. So stay right there. I'll be right back. And we are back. This sounds... As you know, Anthony Antonello, broadcasting live from Pittston, Pennsylvania, syndicated everywhere you want to hear this for the most part, even in a refugee camp where you will have free Wi-Fi. So, talking about science fiction, and before I get into that, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to call tonight. And I was just saying to my partner here that it is beautiful. I would love to. We should be doing the show like from the backyard.
Yeah.
I think we could make that. I don't think it would be too big of a deal. A couple extension cords, Yeah, exactly. Even the producer agrees we should be doing it outside. Yeah, maybe next week. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm trying to talk here. What's up, man? Yeah, I know. He could handle it, he said. I know he could. So, yeah, feel free to call the show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what you want to talk about tonight. We're laid back night tonight. You want to call up? You got girl problems, especially after this week. I'm more than open to that. And by the way, if it looks like I'm spamming pages here on Facebook, I'm totally not. For some reason, it wasn't letting me. It was saying it was like the link wasn't going through, and it was. So now there's multiple things, and it doesn't look like I could even erase them.
Hey, I blame Zuckerberg for that.
Yeah, I know. Why not?
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, Zuckerberg and my baby's mother. I blame her for everything. So, all right. Science fiction. All right.
I'm ready.
How many? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. How many times how many times have we said that science fiction is becoming reality?
Yeah,
that we're
becoming science fact.
Okay, with science fact, right? Exactly, and that you know, these people have been so on the money, Brave New World, 1984, all that stuff, and then you get into a lot more of the local movies, stuff or stuff that we grew up on, and we've already surpassed a lot of that technology, okay? And not to get into a whole different subject, but now, you see the premise of movies, After Earth, and, Earth After Humans, and there's this whole, thing. That's a whole different thing. But what was the title of the second episode 2? Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones, okay. New York Post.
Clone Wars, sorry. Clone Wars.
Okay, was it Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Okay, Clone Wars. Today, New York Post. Come on, man, try and see. Yes, we are going to get to those. For those waiting for the videos, we're going to get to them. Thank you, producer. So, today's New York Post, okay? July 9th, 2014. Invasion of the drones, okay? And city skies buzzing with tiny toy terrors, all right? Now, let's go to page 4 and 5 here. All right, what do we got here? We got New York's Air Scare Force. Look at this. Look at it. Don't you love how clever all these writers are? Yeah. Scare Force. Somebody gonna have a big one. It's gonna be called Scare Force 1. New York City Scare Force. Unmanned aircraft were first authorized by FAA in 1990. Government, all this, that. Somehow they Photoshop a NYPD chopper in here that's smaller than the remote control drone. Not sure how that works. So this really looks like these things are going to be the Phantom, and like I said, I'm certainly not against technology. The problem is we have complete totalitarian government that runs everything we do, and do you think that this is going to be beneficial to the people in any way, shape, or form? And me and Jeff have covered just in the last couple of weeks a couple stories about these. One getting knocked out of the sky. And that was a police one, right, at the game, or no?
Yeah, that was the LAPD drone that got taken out by a sweater after the Stanley Cup with the LA Kings.
So that's good news there, and I know I covered that, and whether they actually did it for altruistic reasons, I don't know. But, yeah, so, I mean, and this is what I talk about as far as propaganda, all right? Now, take the story however you want. Doesn't matter. I mean, this story could actually be a hit piece about drones, all right? But when you're talking about, I mean, this is not even above the fold. This is a full front page. This is full frontal, people, all right? Full frontal. Invasion of the drones. So, your average everyday TV watcher is going to walk into, $10 on 2 and walk by the newspaper, see this. Oh, yeah. And then they get in a conversation with one of their buddies. Oh, yeah, I heard drones are a big thing now, and act like they know what they're talking about because they happen to see invasion of the drones on the front page of the New York Post, which I actually give New York Post more credit than obviously than New York Times. But anyway, that's that. But yeah, I do want to get to these videos. Which one do we have them both ready? They're Big Boss Man producer. Do we have both the videos ready? Yes. Okay. All right. Just because of importance, let's go to. I want to have more time for this terrible police state story one. So let's go to the one I was telling you about with the Mormon one. This is a little bit more lighter side of the news type deal. But
Lighthearted.
yeah. I mean, we could take it easy every now and then. I know most of you don't realize I even have a third gear to slow it down in, but I'll drop it down to third for a little bit here, and we'll go from there. So go ahead, cue this up, and so you know, if you're just joining us, I talked about this a little bit earlier. Two guys, young men, teenagers, boys, whatever they are, riding their bike, and they decide to talk to a guy about the Book of Mormon, and watch how this goes. Go ahead, producer, cue that up, brother.
This got to be God.
How you doing tonight?
How you doing?
Doing well.
Okay.
We're representatives of Jesus Christ. We go around preaching about Jesus Christ,
really?
His teachings, and how they can bless our lives. I wonder if y'all would be interested in learning more.
Well, I mean, would you be interested in learning more?
Yeah, possibly. How Jesus Christ set up his church and gave that authority to act in his name, that priesthood authority, to the apostles. And the apostles went out and taught the people,
Right.
and established the church.
Right.
But because people rejected Christ's teachings and the teachings of the apostles, then eventually fell away into a state of apostasy.
Okay, but that's where I disagree. That's where I disagree, because you said the people rejected Jesus Christ in his teachings.
Not everyone.
Yeah, but that's the way, that's what I mean.
The people at that time.
No, not everybody at that time.
Not everybody. Some people crucified it.
Right.
Obviously, there was rejection there. We don't mean everyone.
No, I'm not denying the rejection, but I'm denying the fact that he said the people rejected.
Yeah. Well, enough people rejected that they did something about it, and obviously he was crucified, died, resurrected.
I mean, when you talk about the crucifixion, we're talking about the death penalty of the state, which was the Roman Empire. The same way you got the death penalty here in America. So, I mean, we condemning Rome as a whole when we talk about the crucifixion, when we talk about who's responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, or we just talking about the people that didn't accept his message?
We don't condemn anyone because that's not our place.
No, I understand that, but according to what he just said, but listen, I mean, can I get a word in? What he just said was that when the people rejected Christ. So, I mean, the scriptures tell you he that believeth not is condemned already. So I'm going according to basically what you guys say. I'm not accusing you of condemning anybody. But when you said when the people rejected him, the way the Bible reads, once you reject and don't believe, you are condemned. So what I'm saying is the crucifixion, the Roman Empire that crucified him, that had that penalty of death, are those the ones that condemned, or is just the ones that rejected him? That's my question. Good question. I thought you guys was here to teach. What else is it?
The Book of Mormon.
Okay.
It's a card.
Why would I take that? The scripture says that, if anybody come into your house and don't bring the correct book, that you're not supposed to bid them Godspeed. So, I mean, why would I take the Book of Mormon? We sitting here talking about the Bible. You pushing on me the Book of Mormon.
Because it testifies of Jesus Christ.
But don't the Bible testify of Jesus Christ?
Absolutely.
So then why do I need the Book of Mormons?
To help strengthen that faith.
God's words need to be, God's word is weak. It needs to be strengthened by the Book of Mormons.
Well, because people can take the Bible and twist it any other
and they can't take the Book of Mormons and twist it?
No, because the Book of Mormon talks about the Bible.
Okay, so the Book of Mormons has more virtue than the Bible.
Sir.
I'm just asking. I'm wondering.
I understand. And we're not here to talk about it all night long like this.
Oh, really? Well, you was here to talk about it all night long before you knew I knew the scriptures.
No, sir.
Then you come up on your bike riding saying, are you ready to learn something? Now you ready to go, huh?
Sir.
Wow. Is that what you guys about? When you run into somebody that you can't really...
Do you want this or not?
Oh, no, now you're dictating what's going on. No, I don't want it. I think I made that clear. You know I don't want that. What you should want to know is the fact that you are in something that is not divinely inspired by God. It has no authority by Jesus Christ. This is the reason. The scripture says in the book of Luke chapter 21 verse 15. This is how you know who Christ ordained. He said, I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which none of your adversaries shall be able to gainsay nor resist. You guys can't come against anything that I'm saying. Everything that, no, you've been shut down already. Everything that I've been saying to you, speaking, over talking is not going to get you nowhere. Being angry is not going to get you nowhere. I mean, we had a discussion. We had a discussion here. I don't need to stop and listen to you. The bottom line is I asked you questions that you couldn't answer. You clearly said, I don't know on tape. I mean, it's not like I'm lying to you guys. Christ said, I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which none of your adversaries shall be able to gainsay nor resist. I have that mouth. That's why you're feeling the way you're feeling right now. Your only reaction is to get angry and to get frustrated and to be evil. That's your only reaction. You don't want to deal intelligently and diplomatically with the word of God. The scripture says that the servants of the Lord must not strive. Why argue about it? If we all believe in the Bible, shouldn't we agree? Can two walk together except they agree? What has to happen here, or what's happening is, somebody must not be believing the Bible. Especially if you're getting upset about a conversation about the scriptures, you must really don't believe. Now, could that be it?
Are you asking me, or are you telling me what I do not believe?
No, what I'm asking and what I'm trying to figure out is common sense. If we all have a common ground and we believe in the Bible, then should anybody be upset? We're supposed to be having a wonderful conversation about the Bible, because we all believe in the Bible. We all believe in Jesus Christ. But evidently and obviously, some of us are lying about who we really believe in. Some of us really believe in Joseph Smith, and they really don't believe in Jesus. That's why when you preach Jesus, they get upset and say, "Sir, listen to me," and try to dominate the conversation, because they can't talk diplomatically and righteously about Jesus Christ, because you have not so learned Christ. If you have learned Christ and have been taught by Christ as the truth is in Christ, then you will know what the Bible is all about.
Sir.
But you don't know that, sir.
You don't.
You don't. How can you say an empty statement like that? What did I say that shows you that I do not know anything about Jesus?
Hang on. Stop.
Yes. Oh, you're done. Bye. Bye.
Good night. It's good to meet you.
Yeah, it's good to meet you too. But you can't bid somebody that don't believe in Jesus Christ Godspeed.
I know that Joseph Smith is.
Okay, I don't care what you know, sir. This conversation is over.
Good night.
As you can clearly see, there's not a man on the planet that can stand before us. This is evidence. It don't matter whether it's the white boys that's lost and think they believe in Jesus but really believe in Joseph Smith, or whether it's an Israelite that knows he's an Israelite and he's an antichrist.
All right, that's good. That wasn't about religion. Well, obviously it was, but that's not the reason I wanted to show it. Number one, I thought that was really entertaining, and it hit home with me, and I'll tell you why. Is because, doing what I do and understanding so many different things that many people don't understand, I find myself in situations like this quite often, talking about political things, or, whether it be 9/11 to the NDAA, it doesn't matter. And you see the human response on once somebody realizes that they just got owned, and they'll try to have a debate, and I don't know if it's this naive attitude that most people have, and I've admitted that, prove me wrong, you're more than welcome to try to prove me wrong, and I say it all the time. I'd rather be wrong, because the consequences and the consequences and repercussions of me being right are something that's it's not a good path that we want to go down. And we have Dalek on the line. We'll go to him in a second. But I get this response quite often from so many people, and you've seen how we're not here to talk all night. I mean, that's how politicians talk. I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to debate you.
I'm not at this debate to debate you.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm not at this debate to debate you. And it really shows you that once they, got owned, that they shut it down, that because they didn't know they were going to come up on somebody that knew more than them. But I don't want the Constitution in my courtroom. Don't you mention the Constitution one more time, So, this is, I think that's why I had such an affinity towards that video, because I recognize knowing things and other people thinking they know things, and me just closing the argument down. And then how great was that? He's like, "No, you've been shut down already." Like he told the one dude, "Yeah, you're on, dude." But Dalek, line one. Thank you for joining the show. What's on your mind this week, brother?
Not much. And remember, just remember that I'm always very patient. You can do whatever you need, take as long as you want. So that's just a little thing that I wanted to say. Earlier around the show, you were talking a little bit about the police state and around Albuquerque, and I think people should right now actually go up there and actually try to help the people over in Albuquerque and actually, help them actually film the police and actually keep a safe community away from these jackboot thugs.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about it. And what you're recommending is as you're saying, as many people as possible get to Albuquerque to try to help them cop block, is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
And I agree with you 1,000%. But here's the problem. Logistically, is most of us are broke. We're barely getting by. I mean, when big events come, I find a way. I have to rob Peter to pay Paul, so to speak, to get to these events, and it's not very easy. And I know, I'm somebody who cares, and I want to be there, and I make it happen. I don't, let excuses get in my way. But most people aren't that passionate to be at a certain event. That's number one. So they're not going to make the time away from their family. They're not, they'd rather spend the money on anything, literally anything other than traveling somewhere. And it's, depending on where you live, Albuquerque is not a hop, skip, and a jump. I'm not, a 5-year-old from Honduras that could walk, 2,000 miles in the matter of a couple hours somehow. But Albuquerque, it's quite far away. I've never even been to Albuquerque. It's quite a ways to go. So for me to go there, number one, for me to even go there,
I know.
Logistically hard.
And I can understand that it's like a.
And look at it this way: even if I did go, go there, what would I have? 1 day, 2 day? How many police would I confront? So I'm with you. If somebody can do that, that's great. More power to them. But this is why I'm coming. Let me try to come at you from a different angle. This is why I am trying to inspire more people to do We Are Change style confrontations, or your own style confrontations. Whatever you think is a good idea, pick up a camera and go do it. So and I'm not speaking to you directly, but anybody, if you can get to Albuquerque, or if you have a problem in your city, and this is how I started. I didn't wait for the perfect meeting. I didn't even know there were meetings in my area until like 3 years into my activism. But if you're somebody who's going to wait around for a meeting, I don't know if you're going to be cut out to be, a hardcore activist. Just do it. That's it. Here's the secret. The whole key is it's all on you. If you want to do it, you can do it. Find a way. Borrow somebody's camera. Or work a odd or side job to come up with money for a bus ticket. And I'm a single father of a young child, and I'm able to travel the country covering this stuff and still find a way to pay bills and do all this stuff. So things can happen. But yeah, so here, on your point, can you imagine, Dalek, if more people, right now there's a fraction of people that do what me and other people do. Just imagine if you were to raise that a couple percent, a couple fractions of a percent of people that were willing to go out and put a camera in somebody's face and call them out on it. I remember when We Are Change first started, how hardcore it was. George W. Bush had to cancel his book tour. Tony Blair had to cancel his book tour. Al Gore had to cancel their book tour because they could not go anywhere without being confronted by, some amateur, independent, freelance, individual activist, journalist, whatever you want to call them. And, that was the beginning of, the whole We Are Change movement. So I would love to see more people do things of that nature. So I don't know. How do you feel about my take on that?
Well, and one thing I gotta say is that I know it's kind of hard. You need to give an arm and a leg just to actually travel up to another place with so much going on in your life. I'm broke. I just started working on a job. I got about $150 That'll help me out a little bit, but
right.
Yeah. What you were talking a little bit about, like the media revolution, the journalistic revolution, when people actually try to go out there and actually put inside like the front lines, and then just ask questions, and then just beat them down with questions, and then actually change, the ideas of, the whole society. And that's why I also have a group called Western Colorado Cop Block. Right now we are actually in the starting stages, but in a little bit we'll try to get up, try to put more content out there. So hopefully we could get it done.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Well, hey, Dalek, we're pushing the bottom of the hour break, brother. As usual, I appreciate your call. Is there anything else you want to add in closing?
One more thing about the open source operating systems. I know that there's games the gaming systems that are already going open source. Although, ironically, I'm calling out a PS Vita from Sony, but I think it's something interesting that we get to see in our own lives, is that open source is going to be the newest feature, and also kind of a free market.
All right, excellent, brother. Well, hey, thank you for calling. You're always welcome here. I guess I'll talk to you next week, hopefully. Have a good week. Thanks for calling, and we'll talk to you again, brother.
You too. See you.
All right, guys, that was Dalek, regular caller, informed young man. And this is what we're trying to do, is get more people involved, more people used to the idea of speaking up. And, hopefully one day we're going to be able to just completely change. Well, we're in the paradigm change right now. We are shifting everything. So this is what's going on. When we come back, we are going to be talking about this crazy, all you have to do is just change the uniform into literal Nazis, and you'd think you'd go back in a time machine. We're going to play that video for you, and I'm going to break it down. It is just off the meter ridiculous. So this is Silences Compliance on the FPRN Radio Network, broadcasting live from Pittston. And I'm going to jump so we can get right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
But they keep telling me it's a sin to be free, and that's more than I'm willing to stand. In the wake of the Sudan, is there no one out there? I see blood in the sands of despair in Africa.
Jordan Page, everybody. Revolution. This is Silences Compliance on the FPRN Radio Network, and we are back broadcasting live from my home base here in Pittston, Pennsylvania. As the information war continues, as the revolution rages on, we are here on the front lines, at the tip of the spear, in the trenches, doing what we can to bring you firsthand, real information about the stories that matter, the important stories, not the fluff, garbage, puff pieces, and, all the nonsense, distraction, misinformation, disinformation, anything but real information, garbage that is purposely shoved down your throat on a regular basis. Pretty much anywhere you go, they have it for everybody. If you're a political junkie, you have CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. If you're in front of the TV, you have all the propaganda on the radio stations. If you are, depending on your demographic, I know a lot of middle-aged women like to watch their Entertainment Tonight, shows like that. If you're somebody that's just going to watch CSI and Law and Order, well, you better believe that you're being indoctrinated into how great the police are and how, laws are in their way. And, it's great for them to just, oh, man, that stupid warrant. Oh, well, boom, just smash the door in as the rookie cop says, we need a warrant. Oh, the door was open. No, it wasn't. You just smashed it in, So this is what we're dealing with. No matter where you go, it's propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. And to segue into that, if people didn't give up their rights so long ago, we might not be dealing with what we're dealing with as far as the shock value of open carrying, okay? Now, I know everybody talks about conceal weapons, okay, and conceal permits. Now, I there's a whole history and a long history, and it's shameful that so many generations have let so many natural rights, okay? Don't fall for this whole civil liberties thing. Natural rights, things that you should be allowed to do no matter what. Because when the government has the power to tell you who can and can't do something, or if you have to live your life a certain way in order to exercise said right, then it is not a said right. It is a privilege that the government can take away from you at any time. All right? So, when people talk about just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Well, for the fact that these people are doing everything they can to take away as many rights as they can, yeah, you should. You should do that and more. Okay, so when they say, oh, just because you can open carry doesn't mean you should. Number one, why not? And number two, yes, you should, because now what we have is a culture of crybabies, a culture of little babies that as soon as they say, oh my God, a man with a gun, okay, and this is why I try to expose false flags and all these operations that are literal terror on the American people, trying to scare them into giving away what's left of their rights. So when somebody walks down the street with a weapon and somebody calls the police and says, hey, I see somebody with a gun, you know what the police should say? And or so? Like, what do you want me to do about it? They are not breaking a law. So the police should not even respond. Okay? So, because we have this culture now where you don't see people carrying weapons that often, depending on where you live, some more than others. But because of this culture, people see this. Oh my God, another Sandy Hook. I could be a hero. Or I better do the right thing. If you see something, say something, So if you're not wearing a costume and you have a gun, then all of a sudden you're somehow a bad guy. And this video here is just disgusting. And I might narrate it depending. I might just let it play through. We'll see how it goes. Jeff, you didn't see this video yet, did you?
I didn't see it.
Okay, all right. Where do you see this? All right, go ahead, producer. Without further ado, let's cue this piece up.
Welcome to On the Move.
Hey, bud, stop right there. Stop right there. Put the rifle on the ground. Put the rifle on the ground.
I'd rather not touch it, officer.
Put the rifle on the ground.
I don't want to touch the weapon. They're pointing guns at me right now, and all right.
And
I'm
this
putting
is
my rifle on the ground.
justified for being worried.
Please do not shoot me.
Like
Okay, I have
rapid
two
dots.
weapons pointed at me right now. Am I being detained right now, officer? All right. Just so you know, officer, you're being video recorded right now.
We got eyes on your weapon. You're fine.
You're being video recorded right now. I just want to let you know.
That's fine. Do me a favor. Stop right there.
Okay.
Right there. Just lift your shirt up. Turn around. Just want to make sure you're on the other side. Turn around.
Here.
Can I put my arms down? Okay. I'd rather not, sir.
Just turn around.
I don't want to.
Okay. Let me see your ID.
Am I being detained right now, officer?
Huh? Let me see your ID.
No, thank you.
What's that?
No, thank you.
No, thank you?
No, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Why are you saying no, thank you?
I know it's my Fourth Amendment right. I don't have to show you my identification.
Okay. Why are you walking down the road with a rifle?
Am I not allowed?
Why? I'm asking you a question. Why are you walking around with a rifle right now?
Why are you walking around with a weapon? Why is she walking around?
We're not going to play jokes, all right? We're working right now. So
Okay.
why are you walking around with a rifle?
I'm allowed. It's my constitutionally protected right.
That's your firearm?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Registered to you?
I'm not going to answer any more questions,
Okay.
officer.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Go ahead and just check that real quick.
Just so you know, I don't consent to any searches or seizures of my firearm.
All right. That's good. That's good. We're not taking it anywhere. But just make sure it's not stolen. Make sure the weapon's clear. So why are you walking around with a rifle?
I'm not going to answer any more of your questions.
Why does it matter? Look at the other girl cop. She can't cannot.
What's your badge number, officer?
I don't have a
Somebody is actually not answering the cop's
What's your name?
question.
My name's Officer Rollins.
Officer Rollins? Can you spell that for me, please, sir?
Yeah, I will in a minute.
What's your name, ma'am?
It's right here.
Officer Young? What's your name, ma'am? Officer Hernandez, is that correct?
Oh, I'm glad you can read.
Wow, that was rude.
Look at her. Look at her.
Psychopath.
Yeah. I'm
Alright,
glad
stay
you
here.
could
Here,
read.
you watch him for a second. Stay right there.
You see her? Look at her
Am I
with
being
the
detained right
shotgun.
now?
She would love to blow this guy's head
What
off.
crime
Look
have
at
I
her.
committed?
Look at this.
No crimes have been committed at this point that we know of.
Are
Maybe
you-
your gun's stolen? I don't know.
Are you aware that I have to be committing a crime or you have to have reasonable suspicion that I committed a crime?
Is her finger on the trigger?
It'd be great if you would just let me go. I didn't realize that I was in Nazi Germany.
Okay.
All right.
So any reason why you're walking around with an AR?
I'm not answering any more of your guys' questions.
Take your hand in your pocket for me, please. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm going to call you Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, as long as you understand that based on your behavior and your actions, you have caused alarm and disorder in the community. Okay? We have checked. You have refused to identify yourself. That is fine. However, based on your future behavior from this point on, you may receive different contact. Okay? Meaning that you may be detained and identified because you are causing additional alarm and disorder.
So-
You understand what I'm saying, sir?
I understand you just said you're going to violate
Just so
my
you
Fourth
know.
Amendment
Just
right.
so you know, okay?
So here's
Have a
my,
nice day. You may pick up your firearm,
which you've
your
strewn my
magazine,
bullet all over
your
the
hat,
ground.
and you may leave, sir.
I really appreciate your service to this community, officer.
You're very welcome, sir.
And I appreciate you guys defending the oath you took to uphold the Constitution.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have
you.
yourself a great day.
You wonderful people. Wow. So, the city of Vancouver, not very gun friendly.
It's Vancouver, Oregon, though, not Canada. I'm pretty sure. You look
Well, I'm just happy I did not get shot today. Look at the bright side, eh? Alright, that feels like all my bullets are there. Okay. safe. Insert in my magazine. Okay. Okay, so we have police over there. I would like. Oh, by the way, he did not give me his spelling of his name. Where's that car number? Car number 1292. Hernandez. All right.
Okay, so she just said it's private property. They don't want you here. They didn't say that up to this point. So he's leaving. Okay, he's
Read that
leaving.
car number. Way too fast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he is leaving. He's on public sidewalk right here.
Walk the other way while exiting. Do not walk towards me with a firearm in your possession. Walk the other way, please. Thank you.
Walk the other way. He does an about face.
Wow, this is incredible.
He's walking the other way.
Officer.
Now
Officer.
he tries to reason.
I need to get to my car is over there.
That private property or you're trespassing.
Officer, I'm trying to get to my car. It's over there. I want to leave.
Sir, keep your hands where I can see them at this point, please. I'm going to ask you to set the phone down so that you don't damage your own phone. Set it on the ground. Do not reach
My car's
near
over there.
your firearm. Set the phone on the ground.
I just want to leave.
Knees.
My car is right there.
Hands on top of your head. Put them on your head. Don't move.
Why am I being assaulted here? Am I being arrested?
Yep.
I want to leave.
Too bad.
Too bad. Fucking cunt face. Too bad. I would love. I would give anything to get her on this show. And obviously, you can't get at these people because it's justified. It's legal. But did you? I mean, you want to talk about mental instability? Now, when I said foaming at the mouth, Jeff, was I far off?
No,
you see,
that was crazy.
Like she was foaming at the mouth. She and listen, it was almost as if she caught her boyfriend cheating on her the night before, and she was ready for blood. You know, she would have loved to not only kill that guy, I would bet that she would have loved to torture him as well. You know, like he said her name. Oh, I'm glad you could read. You know, like complete smartass, you know, while holding a friggin' tactical shotgun at him. And then they end up arresting him. Okay? So this is America. This is what...
That's the land of the free.
Yes, this is the land of the free. We are the conspiracy theorists who are explaining to you about the land of the free and how you are able to do what you want and exercise your, natural rights. And you know what I just thought about, and I want to talk about this more, but this really should be very obvious to so many people. When people talk about the Second Amendment and what the Second Amendment really is for, a tyrannical government, and to off-throw that if that was a last-ditch effort, okay? Now, and I know it goes without saying that you will never, ever hear... Okay, not that I know of. If you know of somebody, correct me, but at least on a bigger scale. I heard Obama the other day talking something about the Second Amendment and, a strong tradition for the Second Amendment, protecting yourself and fishing and hunting. But can you imagine if he were to be honest and say the Second Amendment is for if people like us here in the government tried to take too much power and tried to do all kinds of terrible things to you, the American people, and, take all your rights, pretty much like we have. And you would forcibly resist, and maybe you would have some sort of fighting chance against the military that we created, that you blindly support. And that's a whole other topic about blindly supporting the military. But can you imagine here, like, actually, like Obama coming out and saying, "Hey, I support your Second Amendment. If you ever feel like if you're getting a little froggy, leave, motherfucker." Can you imagine that? You got your weapons. You don't like what I'm doing? Bring it, pussies. Imagine the POTUS, this Obama guy or any of them, but they don't. They never tell you the true nature of it. And this is where I always talk about Larkin Rowe's video. When should you shoot a cop? And he, right in the beginning, he says it clear. Just hearing those words, is enough to make people cringe at the thought of that, because, oh my God, it's so taboo and it's so wrong, and it makes you feel so uncomfortable even saying that. But he breaks it down logically, as tyranny, and he said, it says, and it's so true, that tyranny always comes in the name of law. So when I do my best to articulate this when I call radio shows or debate people, and I tell them, like, what is it going to take for you to recognize it? And I said, when people say, "Oh, I'm a good law-abiding citizen," well, what does that mean? When people were getting thrown in the cattle cars, they were good law-abiding citizens. When they were getting thrown in the gas chambers, they were good law-abiding citizens. Wouldn't history have been a lot different if there would have been a lot more law breakers and cop killers? Okay, so those people that killed in the name of law, Mao's Great Leap Forward, 80 million people, Pol Pot's Cambodia, Hitler's Germany, wouldn't it have been a lot better if there were a lot more quote-unquote cop killers? Okay, because they were the modern day cops. And this is why I try to bring people's minds to modern day sense. And when I hear stories about police getting killed in the line of duty, and I'm speaking for myself now, right now, I don't feel bad for that person. They're the one who are harassing others on a regular basis. Like when the Millers killed them. They were, just eating. Oh, so they were just eating. But how many other families have been ruined, whether they were just eating or on a family vacation, or how many innocent people or innocent, okay, drug war. All right, the drug war is responsible for more than just about, the numbers are just completely off the hook. And that shows you the prison industrial complex. And this is what America has become. But with that being said, we are pushing for a complete change. Me personally, the complete, a peaceful transition into, abolishing the federal government and getting to a free and voluntary society based on individual liberty and voluntary actions, free of force, fraud, and coercion. And hopefully one day we can get to that point peacefully. And that's what I'm pushing for, and trying to educate people about history and real events and real stories and real things. And, this is what we do here on Silence is Compliance. This is the FPRN radio network. Make sure you go to FPRN.com, check it out, go to my website, sign up for an email update with all the shows I'm doing now. That's the only way to keep track of what's going on. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel, subscribe there. That is a big help. Spread the videos, tell your friends. We need to get these numbers up every single week. If you want to help us continue to do what we're doing, well, then be part of it. I'm constantly looking for help. If you think you could do anything to help out what we're doing, get in touch with me. If you don't have the time, if you could donate, $5 would be great. Any amount of money would be a big help. Bitcoin, whatever you can do to help this operation keep going, because we have obviously made a lot of progress and we're not stopping. We're only going faster, harder, and stronger. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. The Wilkes-Barre Independent Gazette, go to their website, check out my column there. Adam versus the Man just released his book, Freedom, Voluntary Virtues Network, Liberty Chat. I mean, we're all working together, people, so make sure you check all this stuff out. Jeff, you have anything in closing, brother? Sunday 7 to 9. Not exactly sure. Most likely Liberty Chat should be up and running. But stay tuned. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter. If you need me, I'm very easily accessible. Send me a message, and I'll do my best to get back to you ASAP. So another week in the bag, and that's a wrap. So, yeah, I know. Another week in the bag. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in a couple days. And that's that. We'll see what happens between now and then. Silences Compliance, Anthony Antonello, and I am out.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.